For privacy reasons, the names of all characters in this story have been changed. Smith family had just moved into their new home. Amanda, the mother, was unpacking boxes in the kitchen while her 8-year-old son, George, played in the backyard. The sun was shining, and the neighborhood seemed perfect. One afternoon, as George kicked his ball around, he noticed a boy about his age standing by the fence. The boy's clothes looked old-fashioned, and his face was pale and expressionless. George waved, but the boy just stared before turning and walking away into the overgrown yard of the old house next door. That night, Amanda tucked George into bed and asked about his day. George mentioned the boy he saw, but Amanda dismissed it, thinking he was just imagining things. As the days went by, George continued to see the boy, always standing at the same spot by the fence and watching silently. One evening, as the sky turned dark, George heard a soft whisper coming from his bedroom window. The voice was faint, but clear. "George, George, come play with me." George felt a chill run down his spine. He looked out the window and saw the boy standing in the yard, his eyes dark and empty. Despite his fear, George felt an irresistible urge to go outside. He unlocked the window and climbed out, following the boy into the darkness. The next morning, Amanda found George sleeping alone in the backyard. She rushed to him, shaking him gently to wake him up. George opened his eyes, looking confused and disoriented. "How did you get out here?" Amanda asked, her voice trembling. George rubbed his eyes and said he had been playing with his friend, the boy from the old house. Amanda felt a shiver run down her spine. She took George inside and decided to investigate the house next door. That night, Amanda heard strange noises coming from outside. She looked out and saw George in the backyard, playing and talking to someone invisible. She called out to him, but he didn't respond. His eyes were glazed over, and he continued talking to the empty air. Amanda ran outside and shook George. He turned to her with a strange expression and spoke in a voice that wasn't his own. "Leave us alone. He belongs to us now." Terrified, Amanda grabbed George and ran from the house, not stopping until they were safe at a neighbor's place. She called the police, who investigated but found no evidence of anyone else being there. Thank you for watching. Since then, the Smith family has been living with their grandparents. They still want to move back into the same house once everything has returned to normal.